Yeah, actually, also going to Tunisia for the shoot was great
Yeah.
because we were actually on the original locations for from New Hope. So we
Right.
were on episode 2. So we were at the ground level above ground is 300 miles away from the part where you go underneath.
Yeah.
And so we shot in, like I said, in the actual location where the original one was. And they rebuilt the dome and they rebuilt other, the moisture evaporators in the distance, that sort of thing.
How good, episode 3. I told you that you would enjoy these little snippets and insights into behind the scenes of some of our favourite movies, Pirates of the Caribbean, Star Wars, and the world of special effects and all of the different goings on. So if you enjoy that sort of thing and you love TV and movies and you also care about the world, we are working towards raising money to start a video streaming service that will screen the best TV and movies in the world and provide education to third world countries, all just by you watching TV. Sounds too good to be true. It's taken me 12 months and a lot of heartache to engineer, but it is going to be amazing. And there's even better things than that, but I'm not going to go on about it too much. I just wanted to pop in, say a quick hello. If you are interested in supporting, because it's the only way it's actually going to happen, and we're taking donations from as little as $1, and it takes a couple of minutes to do that, jump in the notes below and go and check out the campaign video. It'll talk all about what we've done, and for what it's worth, I spent months working on it and trying to craft the soundtrack and put as much love and care as I could possibly put into it, because the opportunity to do something amazing for the world is real. The global army of volunteers is evolving. We've got 7 or 8 people already. The whole reason you're watching this right now is because I've got people allocated. So thanks and shout out to Cody and James, my champions, and Atul, who's also working away for the cause in India. So tune into all that as well. If you want to subscribe to the Flicks for Good channel and the page and the website's just www.flicksforgood, FLICKS, the number 4 good.com.au. Tell us what you think about these new short episodes.
So, what's been the favourite experience that you've had so far, or maybe even a few? I'd love it if you could share, a little bit about those.
For the most part, I was really lucky. Pretty much everything I worked on, especially by working through ILM, we always had really good experiences. There was nothing ever bad. I mean, one movie that wasn't particularly fun to work on just because there was weird things going around at the time was a movie called Fire in the Sky. It was about an alien abduction, and just the production was just kind of odd. I mean, everyone at ILM got along, but it was just a weird time. I think that was more to do with what was going on internally and that sort of thing. But generally, I think, I had a blast on Galaxy Quest. Pirates of the Caribbean movies, particularly the first one, was a lot of fun to work on. Probably my all-time favorite was the whole period of time working on it was Star Wars Episode 2. Now, I know everyone has different opinions of movies and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
I'm not saying it was my favorite movie,
Yes.
but it was my favorite movie to work on.
Yeah.
And that was because I got to fly, I came to Sydney. I worked in Sydney for 2.5 months on the film. I was an integral part of the shooting. I was on the call sheet. And, it was a lot of fun to be working on the set with everybody. Then we got to go on location. So I got to go to Italy, Tunisia, London. And I actually went to London twice because I did some pickup shots the following year. So, and then I was back at ILM working on it as a model maker. So for 2 years, it was just a lot of fun and a lot of work, and we had some really good times on it. So it was probably my favorite overall experience, but all of them have been great, and for different reasons. Fly was fun because it was my first one. But like I said, Pirates was great because it was interesting to build ships like they used to build ships. We built them like real ships, real pirate ships. So.
Yeah, I might pull up some of those images actually. Now that you're mentioning that. Bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
So test me here now.
That's all episode 2 stuff.
It's episode 2. Sorry.
That's actually a cut scene. That's when C-3PO gets his cladding. So that's Anthony Daniels actually puppeteering the puppet from episode 1 of C-3PO.
Yeah, which funnily enough, I just started watching with my daughter, so I'm hoping that if I do this, I don't know how that translates. No, it doesn't go as big as what I thought that was going to. I wanted a way just to skim through these. Yeah, we just started watching the very first episode. So she's seen the original series, so A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. So I kind of started her on that, and then I actually still haven't seen the last one, Jedi. So so I said, oh look, let's work our way through. So we're trying to do that, which is a little bit tricky because my wife's not really, she's not really a Star Wars fan at all. But
how old's your daughter?
I'm indoctrinating my daughter. She's 9. Yeah.
Good.
And she loved it. So it's really fun to share some of the classic movies like that. Back to the Future, we watched those together, and she really enjoyed those as well.
My son likes the films a lot better than my daughter. My son's 23. My daughter's going to be 18. So she's not as much into it. But we did the same thing before going to see Last Jedi. We watched all the films back to back.
Yeah.
Just to get up to speed. So.
Yeah, it's the way to go. This looks very cool. I mean, that was another thing I wanted to ask you about is, I guess, the experience of being on set, and being like in these kind of corridors must be pretty a little bit out of this world, feeling like you've actually really stepped right into the movie.
Oh yeah, this was really cool. That's from episode 3, and we actually brought R2. That's Justin Dick standing, and Matt Sloan kneeling, and I'm on the right there. Justin's from Melbourne, and Matt's from New Zealand.
Right.
But they were my crew on episode 3, and we brought R2 on set there and decided, hey, let's get a photo. There was nobody else around. There's other photos shooting on it, but we wanted to get our own private photo. And actually, also going to Tunisia for the shoot was great because we were actually on the original location from New Hope. So we were on episode 2. So we were at the ground level above ground is 300 miles away from the part where you go underneath.
Yeah. And
so we shot in, like I said, in the actual location where the original one was. And they rebuilt the dome, and they rebuilt other, the moisture evaporators in the distance, that sort of thing. And then it was great being there with Anthony Daniels because he was reminiscing. For him, it was a real flashback. Although interesting for him, it was cold when they were shooting. They were shooting in winter or late early spring, I guess. It was in March, and so when he would get the costume, he said he was very cold because he's just wearing a leotard underneath, and the sun is reflecting off his suit, so he wasn't getting any heat. But on episode 2, that suit wasn't gold; it was multicolored. It was darker colors, and it was very hot, shooting in the middle, the height of summer. So so it was a very different experience for him. And then we drove a couple hundred miles to the next location, which was below ground, which is Hotel City Tris. In reality, it's supposed to be the Lars Homestead in the films. And so that was great to walk around and explore because there's a lot more to it than you just see in the film. And we walked around because it's actually a hotel. It's not a hotel, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's fascinating, that sort of thing. I think it's really cool. The movie magic just change from the one thing to another, but and the trickery, I guess, that takes place. So this is the same guy who played the role of C-3PO the whole time. Is that what?
Yeah, he's been in all the Star Wars films.
Yeah,
and he's even in Rogue One.
He probably need that. Yeah.
He's in Solo.
The funny C-3PO walking. There's another shot. The green screen.
Yeah, this one was the last day of R2 shooting on Episode 3.
Right.
So I asked the stills photographer, I says, would you take a picture, a group photo of us if everyone said yes? And he said, sure. He says, but you have to ask them. He says, if I ask them, they won't do it. So I went around to Ewan and Ian and Hayden and George, and I said, would you take a group photo? Would you mind? And they said, sure. So
yeah, that's great.